What's up YouTube? Back in today with another video, and this will be the first proper video for 2025, so happy new year to everybody out there. Today we're going to be doing some work on my daily driver, which, surprise surprise, is another Ford Falcon. But yeah, we're going to be doing some work on it, and it's going to involve fitting up a set of Xforce headers or extractors and a high flow cat. So let's get into it. Oh, I better not hit the camera. That'd be pretty bad. So, this is my 2008 Ford XT Falcon. So it's a BF2, I think. I don't know. It's got a facelift front. So, what are we going to be installing into this Falcon? We're going to be installing some Xforce goodies. So, start with the headers first. We have these bad boys here. So, these are a basic tri-wire design header, made by Xforce, stainless steel construction, all nice, fancy, pretty looking welds, pretty basic. These run the same pipe over cone design as pacemaker. So it's supposed to minimize obstructions with gas flowing through the pipes. As you can see there, likewise with this high flow cat as well. In terms of this high flow cat, that's what it looks like on the inside. This car being a BF model, it actually runs two oxygen sensors. It runs an oxygen sensor before the cat, and it runs another sensor after the cat. So as far as I know, it's done this way to pick up a difference in gas flowing through the catalytic converter. And basically what the ECU is looking for is that it's reading a different input before and after. So putting in a high flow cat potentially might cause a check engine light. I have no idea. I'm just speculating here. The thing that I will need to do on this though is I will actually need to weld in another bung for the second oxygen sensor. So first oxygen sensor is actually in the collector of the headers. So right here on the car itself, it's just down there. This also runs another sensor after the cat, like I was saying. So this is where it gets interesting for me, because this high flow cat here doesn't actually have a fitting for a second oxygen sensor. So I'm going to have to modify that. And I have a part for that, which is right here. This is basically just a little stainless bung. It's threaded for an oxygen sensor. I'm going to have to drill a hole in that and weld that on. So I'll get into that. That's probably going to be the hardest part of the job, to be honest. Everything else I think will be fairly straightforward in terms of bolting it straight up. If I haven't already mentioned, because I'm just running through all sorts of things in my head right now, I've actually already done the exhaust on this car in terms of the catback system. This was all original when I bought it. And one of the boys hooked it up with a full exhaust. Shout out to Oppa, always hooking me up with the goodies, the man. So this is actually running a mandrel bent 2.5-inch system, 2 mufflers, nice bolt-on system. I did have to make some modifications because this got pulled off a car at Pick-a-Part, I believe, and it was heavily crushed. So I ended up doing some cutting and welding and whatnot. I'll throw in some videos because I think I have some videos from way back of when I did the system for this. Alright, so this is the exhaust system under the BF. So right at the front there we've got the catalytic converter. Because it's a BF, it's got the dual oxygen sensors, so we've got a pre-cat sensor up in the factory exhaust manifold, and then we've got a post-cat sensor just after the cat, obviously. Yeah, and then that runs into this little resonator type thing, muffler. Mid pipe carries on all the way to this 2-bolt flange, carries on to this massive sensor muffler, and that goes out to the rear section right there. That's the last muffler just there. before it dumps inside the bumper. So yeah, part of the upgrade we're going to do is removing this midsection, that tailpipe section, and chucking in some straight through mufflers and 2.5 inch piping. So yeah, should do the trick. So yeah, once that flange up the front is unbolted, we've got one more flange at the back here just after the center muffler, 2 bolts, a couple of rubber hangers. So we've got rubber hanger here, goes back over the axle to this muffler at the back, another couple of rubber hangers here, and there's another one somewhere up there. Just up there where that bracket is, there's another one there. Okay, so that's the exhaust off now. So we've got the midsection, center muffler out, and the tailpipe section. So we're going to go 2.5 inch piping from the 2 bolt flange there. Put one muffler about here, up through here, just there. So bring the piping up through here, around to another muffler here, and then pretty much just going to have like a little turn down section so it dumps flush with the cutout and the bumper, so it all looks pretty stockish. But yeah, straight through mufflers should flow a little bit better, and yeah, maybe a little bit deeper on the tone. So yeah. Alright, so that's the original exhaust there. Look at the size of these mufflers, man. Check this shit out. Fucking almost 20 inches long, man. 20 inches by like 14. What the fuck do you need that kind of muffler size for, man? God damn it. But yeah, combined with the headers, extractors, whatever you want to call them, and the high flow cat, the system should flow about as good as I'd need for this car. So we'll go get the car jacked up a little bit, see if I can get under there, get all the bolts loose for the cat, mid-pipe, whatever you want to call it, rip out the factory exhaust manifold, then we'll chuck all this stuff in there. Hopefully it all goes together as per my expectations of it being a nice easy job. If not, I've got the whole day ahead of me, so there's plenty of time to get this done. So yeah, let's stop talking shit and actually do some work. Before we do anything drastic with this, we're going to get into it with a little bit of WD Feldy. Oh my god, this is freaking empty. There we go. There we go. Probably don't need any of this, to be honest, but I don't give a damn. Let's spray the hell out of these as well. So hopefully this is actually going to pick up some noise. I've got a Bluetooth mic at the moment, so this should help with my budget as videos. I'm actually going to reuse that sensor because these headers actually came off a BA and I don't know what the condition of the sensor's like, so I'll stick with my one because I know that it's still working fine as far as I know. Yeah, so now we'll go and remove the 2 bolts that are holding the manifold to the pipe that goes down to the cat. Loosen off all these manifold bolts, and then we'll go underneath the car and we'll start working on getting the cat and the mid pipe out. So we're under the car now. So this is what we're looking at removing. This section of pipe here, this little muffler resonator thing, that comes after the factory catalytic converter. So a little bit hard to see, but we'll see if we can find them. No, it's just over there. And then we've got another one. It's just up there. So we'll loosen both of those off. We'll be able to drop the catalytic converter and this mid pipe out of the way. Then we'll go back up to the top and we shall remove the exhaust manifold. Should be all nice and straightforward, that side of things. Alright. So that's pretty much loose now. I've taken the oxygen sensor out because I'm just going to let that hang there and I'll reinstall that when I chuck the new mid pipe in. Got 2 bolts of that flange there that connects this part of it to the rest of the exhaust, and then this should all just pop straight out.
Meow, meow.
So I dropped this off to the scrappy, and then I was just going to go straight to Wendy's and get me some lunch. Alright, so we've got the cat part of it off now. Taking off the rest of the manifold bolts. Get yourself a little container. Start going to town with getting these out. Oh, don't you fucking go down there. There we go. Like that. So that's the factory exhaust manifold and the factory cat and mid pipe out of the way now. So we'll take a quick smoko break and then we'll proceed to chuck the new stuff in. Chat chat. Okay, so smoko's over now. Before I put the headers in, I've had to disconnect this intermediate shaft to the steering rack, so it's got a 10mm bolt that goes through that. It locks into the side of this little splined spigot here. So if I pop that out of the way, gives it a bit more room for the flange of the extractors or headers to fit down in that gap. So yeah. So headers are all bolted up now. Looks pretty good. Just had to tie the O2 sensor cable out of the way, so I've just tied it to that heater hose there. Apart from that, yeah, pretty much just goes all straight in. I've just put that steering linkage back in now, so that arm down there just needs a bolt put back inside there now, so I'll go underneath and put that in. And then yeah, once that's done, see if I can line this catalytic converter mid pipe up and figure out where I need to drill a hole to mount this little boss so we can actually screw the second sensor in. So let's go. So low flow cat kind of sitting in place at the moment. I've had to sort of unravel the wiring for this O2 sensor because I think I'm going to have to mount it on this side. Previously this was, I think, on that side. I can't even remember. Yeah, it was on the other side, I think. So I'm going to have to route it onto this side of the pipe. So just sort of marked out a little hole there. So what I'll do, I'll get this off, drill a hole, weld up the other boss onto here, screw this in. Fingers crossed it all works. Don't worry, this is 100% safe. Oh my god. Alright. So that's a little bung welded in. Don't mind my high quality gasless MIG welds. My little cheapo $200 gasless MIG. Yeah. So found a couple of gaskets from another project. Gonna reuse a couple of bolts off the exhaust manifold. A couple of random nuts. Just gotta find some little spring washers somewhere because these are not gonna lock in place. Alright, so that's the exhaust all done. High flow cat, 100 cell, the mid pipe that joins to the rest of the catback system, 2.5 inch, 2 straight through mufflers, the second O2 sensors up there, and then obviously the Xforce headers. Let's go here, what it sounds like. So I just gave that a couple of revs up to 3000 RPM. Doesn't sound too bad. It's got a little bit more tone than what I had before. It's still relatively quiet, which is good because I don't want it to be loud. Yeah, I might actually take it out for a drive now. Yeah, I'll take it out for a bit of a blat and see how it actually goes. So, how's it drive? Surprisingly nice. It is like super quiet in the cabin, which is exactly what I was after. I didn't want any droning or anything like that. I was a little bit skeptical because this thing was basically they're running 3 mufflers and a cat with the standard exhaust manifold. So I was thinking maybe dropping the little muffler or resonator or whatever it is in the factory mid pipe maybe that was going to bring in some drone. I wasn't too sure. Pleased to say it didn't do anything, so it was good. Can't really tell much in terms of performance just yet because I haven't actually driven it that hard. I'm just sort of cruising out to a nice quiet spot now. But yeah, so far I'm pretty happy that it's just quiet. It's nice. It's a little bit deeper if anything, but it's very subtle, so yeah, pretty happy with that. And also pretty stoked that there's no check engine light either, so that's quite cool. Because I was a little bit worried as well if I was going to put the second sensor in after a high flow cat. Was it actually going to do anything, or was it just going to throw up a check engine light anyway? But so far, so good. I'll give it a couple of days at least and see if it does change anything, but fingers crossed. So yeah, it goes alright. I'm pretty happy. Like I was saying, it didn't really cost me a hell of a lot to buy all of this all up. I think it was probably around $450 for the headers, second hand, but really good condition, and the high flow cat and mid pipe. So yeah, relatively happy with that. It's all nice and bolt on. I wasn't expecting a massive gain in torque or anything like that. It's a little bit hard when you've done all the other bits and pieces and left the high flow cat and the extractors for last. If I did it all together in one go, I probably would have noticed a bit more of a difference, but it's definitely got a little bit more torque throughout the rev range, that's for sure. Definitely noticeable in the mid-range. Down low, not really, doesn't really feel that much different to be honest, but it's a lot more responsive, so it's, yeah, it must have gained a little bit surely. So yeah, reasonably happy with that. I was more after just making sure it was still quiet and making sure that everything actually did fit up and didn't throw any check engine lights, so win-win. But yeah, that brings us to the end of this video. Thanks again for watching, guys. Appreciate the support as always. I just clicked over 2,500 subscribers over the weekend, so hella appreciative of everyone that's been subscribing, commenting, sharing, and yeah, just coming up and saying what's up when I get spotted out in public. So yeah, it's a good vibe, and yeah, we'll keep pushing on and see how 2025 goes. So until next time, ciao ciao.